Now, I had this dream probably about a week ago, and I wanted to wait till the perfect time to make the video on it. So, long story short, I'll get to the dream. What happened in this dream is so crazy, okay? What happened in this dream is, if you ever seen a zombie movie, so this couldn't be that far in the future, so that far from where we are now. In zombie movies, none comes to mind, but if something comes to mind with where there's quarantine, right? So you might have the zombies, and the zombies are in this area, but the people that don't have the virus are in this area, right? In this dream, the people with the mark of the beast, they could go anywhere in the world, like how we can travel now, how we can have passports now, how we can drive now, all of these things. Basically, they can live freely, so they can travel. If they want to go to New York from California, they can go anywhere, get on planes, trains. They can go to restaurants. They can go to they're free, okay? Now, the people who didn't have the mark of the beast were stuck. Okay, I gotta sit down for this. The people who didn't have the mark of the beast were stuck. They were stuck in zones, buildings, so skyscrapers. You only can stay in this one skyscraper. You only can stay in this one area. It was terrible. So if you didn't have the mark of the beast, you couldn't travel anywhere. You had to stay in this one building for the rest of your time, life. There was no food. You were starving to death. There was no way you can plant food or grow your own food. There was none of that. If you tried to leave the zone, you would be shot immediately by terrorists. They had robotic AI terrorists that would recognize you. They would recognize that you don't have the mark and that you're leaving the premises, and you will be shot. There were war in these zones from rebellion, so people who didn't really think it was fair, they were rebelling against the mark. They were getting destroyed. They were getting cut down. It was genocide, okay? They were killing us, poisoning us inside the building. You only could wear certain clothing. It got so bad that people started to unalive themselves. They started to hurt themselves. I think it was one day, my zone, I was in a skyscraper, but it was so many other zones. You could hear it on the TV about how people were actually, being unalive at a mass rate. I seen a guy just jump out the building, face first. We were on like the 40th floor or something like that. We were very high up. Jumped out, no problem. And you could, even inside the zone, it wasn't safe because it was a war going in the zone. So if you travel, you can just get unalive just because you're traveling around the zone that you're stuck in. I tried to escape the zone. This is how I found out it was terrorists. I tried to escape the zone. And when I tried to escape the zone, the terrorists started shooting at me, right? Now, when the terrorists started shooting at me, God kept me alive through the dream, so, probably in real life I would have got cut down, but the terrorists started shooting at me, but God wanted me to he wanted to show me something. What he showed me is that the people with the mark of the beast, they were traveling through the zone, out the zone, wherever they wanted to travel, walking. The terror was shooting at me, and these are very large, high caliber bullets. The people with the mark of the beast didn't even notice that I was being shot at. They didn't even care. It was like a virtual reality headset, but without the virtual reality headset. Like, they looked like normal people. It wasn't no mark or circle on it. Like, I knew it was all digital, so it had to be like a link in their heads or in their hand. And they didn't even notice the outside world. They didn't notice the genocide. They didn't notice anything. Everything was selfish. Everything was just about them, about where they wanted to go, about how they wanted to do things. And the link actually buffered out, made them blind, literally, to our starvation, our death, it made them blind to everything. So I ended up having to go back to the zone because I just got shot at. And I'm like, what is going on? So I had to go to an important place because the feeling was so terrible inside the zone. Is if you stayed there, you would die. And I sent to a place, I don't know where, but I got sent to a place, and they smuggled me. Now, the transportation at this time was very futuristic. I would say it was a train, but it was a very high futuristic type train, air type with electric floating type train, like a plane and a train put together. basically the people that smuggled me on this train, I was sitting in the compartment, but I guess I was too big for the compartment, and I ended up having to leave the compartment because it was like agents walking around. Something happened where I had to leave the compartment. Okay. When I left the compartment, I was already outside the zone, so I was past the turrets. But if you get found outside the zone, you will die. Okay, it wasn't no trial, no police. They're gonna catch you and you're gonna die. It's just what it is. I'm outside the compartment. I'm walking around the train. I'm scared as I don't know what. So I'm sitting down. Now the guy comes on the train, scanning people's heads, scanning the marks to pay for the train ticket. As he's scanning the marks, he's going down, and I'm sitting beside this empty seat. I'm sitting beside, and I'm like, I'm scared. Okay, so I called on the name of Andre. I prayed. I said, please save me. Please save me. I don't want to die. I was honest. And he got to the guy beside me, and I just had faith, ultimate faith. You know, I just like, F it. You know, if whatever's going to happen, I'm going to keep my faith. He went to scan the guy beside me, and I called him. He walked past me. He walked, the guy that's scanning, the train ticket guy, he walked past. I was invisible. God made me physically invisible to this guy. He didn't even notice me. And I know it was God because he was about to scan me, but it's just like, it was something just, it was like God can control. God still had authority. And I want you guys to remember this video. If you see it now or in the future, God always has the final say so, the final authority. You know, when he walked off, my heart, it was like the relief. I had a feeling of relief inside the dream, and it was just so amazing. And after that, I had woke up.